Man, we did everything we were supposed to do, and we are somehow still behind. I think people are starting to catch on as to why. You see, as kids, we were told, grow up, go to school, go to university, get a good job afterwards, buy a house, start a family, live a happy life, right? Y'all heard that? And then as we started to get older, things started to change. Our hand was slightly different than previous generations. Why? We went to university, or even before that, we had high school. We didn't get a graduation. We didn't get a prom. No closure there. We go into university like they told us to do. We're all stuck in our own dorms, not able to reach out to anybody, not able to see anybody. No classes, everything's online, and we're still paying the same price for like less than a quarter of the experience. And that was kind of messed up. Not only that, but we get into the job market. First of all, not even promised a job out of school. Not that I expected to be promised a job, but the job rates, in my opinion, should have been higher from what I saw. As that aside, we are almost expected to have a master's degree or 3 to 5 years of experience for an entry-level job after university, which to me makes no sense at all. But not only that, with AI advancing, now we're starting to fear for our jobs being taken over by AI because we're at the bottom of the totem pole in a 9 to 5 job. In the corporate world, we are at the very bottom. Usually, most people are starting at the bottom, right? Unless you're in some sort of tech or some sort of sales right off the bat, which if you are, good job. But there's not much hope that our generation seems to have anymore. But I came to a very serious conclusion recently, and that's that nobody's coming to save us. Not our parents, not our friends. No corporate management is going to be like, oh my God, let's save this poor child from his suffering. No. We have to do We have to do all of that ourselves. And coming to that realization, it also made me think of a couple other things. First is that we only get to control our own actions. We are only capable of 100% control of what we do. Not how anyone else feels, not how the world treats us, not how the world is doing anything. We get to choose every single moment of every single day. So, with that being said, why not get into the best shape you can? Why not start investing as soon as possible? Why not start that business and start to build something that you are passionate about? Take that risk, because if the safe play is no longer safe, then what are you risking by starting the thing you genuinely want to do? Capiche? I say all this because going through 9 to 5 right now feels next to impossible. It is very tough. The commute is rough. I'm a poet and didn't even know it. But starting that business, yes, it takes a risk. But in previous years, previous generations, they did not have to work nearly as hard as we do now to achieve the same results. I saw a thing about 1937. The cost of living, the cost to buy a house, the cost for certain groceries, like they had to work 2.5 years, maybe 3 years to be able to afford a house. For us in this day and age, that is a pipe dream at best. Now, a lot of people seem to be getting into this entrepreneurship game as time goes on, which great. I think it's awesome. I'm starting to do the same thing too. But we're almost being forced to do this just to survive on our own, which doesn't seem that great in its own sense. I believe that we should be able to have that choice. I think that the entrepreneurship game shouldn't be a need, but a want, something that's cool to do. But most jobs outside of school, after you're done university, they do not pay you enough. The cost of living is much too high to be able to sustain ourselves comfortably while having fun, while having savings and investments, and while pursuing life outside of work. A lot of people seem to have lost the trifecta. We have the work, we have the home a little bit, but we're missing the social aspect. And people who exercise, people who go to the gym, maybe you do a little bit of running, but it's not really a place where you always go to hang out with people that you like. That's kind of dropped off. So now we're stuck with work and home, which if you have a commute like I do, which is 3 hours, not to say poor me, but you don't have much home time either. Which really starts to beg the question, is any of this worth it? How much of this is worth it? Is this business that I'm pursuing, should that be the actual thing that I put my mind and energy towards? Is the 9 to 5 becoming something that you put less and less energy to as time goes on? Makes you wonder if doing the bare minimum at your job is what's required to live a life that can sustain you outside of that. And yes, it takes time. None of this is going to come instantly. Creating a business that does well will not happen overnight, which means we have to suffer a long period of time to get to a point in which we can be comfortable. But how many people are actually going to do that? Now, if you guys are like me, you are dedicating every ounce of time that you have to making videos, posting on social media, starting something, getting out there somehow, some way, some shape or form. And we are doing that just to survive, to live the life that we always dreamed of doing, to live the life that we were promised to have that seems less and less hopeful as time goes on. If there's increasingly more risk with the safe play of the 9 to 5, does that also mean that there's reduced risk pursuing a business venture, pursuing something that we want to do anyway? But again, this is the hand that we're dealt. We now have the option to play it based on the cards that we have. And I will give credit to AI and the advancement of technology. This one thing is that this makes our job easier. The barrier to entry has never been lower, yet most people can't even stick to starting something for even a month. So those of you that are able to, those of you that keep putting in the work day after day, eventually you will reach success. But it's putting in those hours, putting in that extra time after your 9 to 5 to make this dream become a reality. Another way I like to look at this too is that, yeah, sure, we have to work harder than previous generations, but at the same token, maybe that's a good thing. Treat this more as like a challenge, because realistically, if you don't, you're just going to fall to the bottom and never get to where you want to go anyway. Treat it like a challenge, figure out your way, because there's a million ways to make $1 million. You just have to figure out your path. I saw a quote the other day that goes something along the lines of, be ready to sacrifice for your dreams, because if you don't, your dreams become the sacrifice. And that one stood out to me a little bit, just because so many people, think about all the people in their lives who have been on their deathbeds, wishing that the one thing they ended up doing was what they were passionate about. But instead, they played the safe game. They listened to the hopes and promises of the adults of their time to go through school, get a job, grow old, spend 40 years doing a job that you hate just to die anyways without any money. Like, that's a pretty shitty life to have to go through. And our generation is forced to create side hustles, to start a business. That's why there's such a big entrepreneurship push right now, is because we have to do that just to survive. But again, that rolls back to this challenge. It is a challenge at that, and it's an obstacle that must be overcome. We have one life. We have one body. We need to take care of both. Take care of your body, take care of your mind, take care of your finances. Do your due diligence and take care of all of that stuff now. The sooner you hop on this bandwagon, sooner you hop on this train of taking care of everything yourself, knowing that nobody is coming to save you, that is the only way we are going to see success in our lifetime, for better or worse. And despite everything, we have the same potential that we did when we were kids. The same potential is there. We just have a slightly different environment and a slightly different obstacle to overcome than we originally thought. And for the love of God, for those of you who are on the idea, on the precipice of building something or putting something out in the world, just put it out there. Doesn't matter if it's not perfect. You will fix it. You will change over time. Getting it out there is the hardest step. Just get it done. Because like it or not, this is something that we are going to have to do in order to survive and thrive in this day and age. And we only get one chance. Now, this was a quick video. I just wanted to get my thoughts out there, see if any of you guys relate to what's going on in this world right now. If you are interested in taking the next steps and want to learn how to build systems on top of your 9 to 5, check out the video I have here. I have tons on my page. And if you have liked this video, I would encourage you to click subscribe. I will be making more of these videos every single week. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.